Okay, we are almost to our destination here. We're still in South Dakota, but we're going to be crossing over into Nebraska shortly at the Nebraska Tailwaters site. And I'm so happy to be back in the hills because this whole day has been nothing but flat, open, a little bit of water here and there. Roads have been bumpy. There we go. Yay, we're in Nebraska.
Hey, this is Gary once again with Ruff RV Life, doing a We Like Looking at Freedom review. Where's freedom brought us? Nebraska. Once we cross this Missouri River from South Dakota, and now we're over on this side in Nebraska. And we are at Nebraska Tailwaters Corps of Engineer Campground. And that is the entrance to the campground right there, coming off of, I believe it's 121. That is the guard shack. Then you make this right-hand turn, and you will go down that road right there. It's not a huge campground, it's just one row. Starts there and just goes straight down. You got a row of tent sites first, and then some RV sites going on down toward the end of this. I'll show you all that. And it sits here on the Missouri River. And the center point of this would be over here, Gavins Point Dam, right there, where you see all that water frothing out. Now across the Missouri River here on the other side there's several other campgrounds, state parks, one more Corps park over there. Cottonwood is a Corps of Engineer park, and then you have a couple of state parks that are on the other side. But let's take a look at this one first. Nebraska Tailwater. Well, we were just up there. That's one of the camp posts that you come around in. And this is a row of tent sites. 41, 42, 40, some of the numbers. And they're right in a row. And then you come to another camp post down there by the bathroom. So these would be your tent sites, and they all face the river. We're going to go down there past that camp post and take a look at some of the other sites. Got a little walkway here going down to the Missouri River. See the currents rolling. There comes a boater. So let's head on down. So we moved on past the tent area, and this is the boating area, the boat ramp. It's where you park your trailers. And there's a restroom there. And here's the double boat ramp. Nebraska Tailwaters Recreation Area. We are here. So here we are entering the RV area, and 50 amp service, no water at the site, and if you see right there is the water spigot, and they put them like right behind somebody's campground, so if you want to fill water jugs you have to walk through somebody's campground to do it. And that is site 5. And that would be a picture of site 6. I usually don't do these videos in the car, but this campground is so linear, I think it's the best way to do it. Give you a total view of the whole campground. And this right here would be the bathhouse we're coming up on. It's nice. We've used it quite often. It's spacious, good water pressure, hot water. There's another camp host right there. And then that little gray motorhome right there, that would be us. That's our little traveling home. And then you just continue to come down. They're all nice back-end sites, nice grass, picnic table, and of course you got the Missouri River. You face the river as you're backed in. And you have another bathroom. And this will be the end of it right here. This is it. They got a turnaround loop. And you have some sites up here for tents. Site 33, 32. These would be tent sites. And that would be the total campground from start to finish. As you can see across the road, there's another boat ramp over there. And I'm going to take a few minutes and drive over there. You got to go through the across the dam and just show you what that's like on the other side. So here I am just coming out of the campground. This is the road that you come into the campground out. You can see the park sign there. Nebraska Tailwaters Campground. Now if you were to go straight across here, that way, there's a visitor center over there. It's a nice visitor center that you could go and see. And there's also a couple of hiking trails. One's a real short one. It's like 3/10 of a mile, but it's nice. It goes up, and you can see over the river. And then there's another hiking trail that way. And if you were to go that way, that would take you back across the dam over to eventually to Route 52, I believe it is. And then you could go into the town of Yankton, Y-A-N-K-T-O-N, which is the main city around here. And if you go straight, where that bridge out 3 miles ahead is, when that bridge is actually out, the dump station is up there. And now we're going to ride up there and show you that. Right here will be your dump station. It's a double dump station. Either side works, and you also have your fresh water fill here too. You don't want to use the spigots at the campground because there's only two and you have to walk right through somebody's campsite to get to them. This would be the dumping station. It's just right outside the main entrance. And also you have your fish cleaning station with the macerator built into it, the grinder for the fish parts, dumpster right here. And I'm going to drive on down this road a little bit farther and show you another little rail trail that's up here. Okay, so you can just come down just a little bit further, maybe a quarter of a mile, and you got this little parking lot here. It's only big enough for 2 cars. But there's a nice rail trail here if you like either walking your bike, either walking or riding your bike. It's got some concrete along the way, but then it goes into mostly that paved gravel type of trail. But it's wide, and it goes alongside the river, so it's nice. But this is another thing you can do at this park is just drive up here and you walk, ride your bikes, take your dogs. And right across the street we have the Dam Fish Shack. The guys at the bike store, we had to get a tire fix, told us that this is a great place to eat. And we needed to come and try it out. So we probably will. It's right up from the park, right across from the dump station. The Dam Fish Shack. Okay, so that right there was the entrance to the campground, right down that road. Straight across was the visitor center, but we're going straight. This is how you would get back to the main road. You have to cross over the dam, which is interesting. Also, the dam conducts tours. It's about a 45 minutes to the hour to do the tour. And I would suggest that while you were here, I recommend taking a little time and going inside the dam to see how it works. And you're coming along, the road will split. If you go down there, that's where the dam tour is held. And that is the Gavin Point Dam. And we are going straight to go across the dam, which takes you to the other side of the river. Electric, 30,000 homes. And they send power through several different states. And to get across the dam, you have to stop and wait your turn. One-way traffic. So we're going to sit here and stop, wait for our light to change. Okay, our light has changed. So now it's our turn to drive across the dam. There's a lake on this side. And this section we're driving over now, if you're taking the dam tour, you can look up and see what we're driving over right now. It's great. But there's a picture of the lake before it enters the dam, the Missouri River rather. There's the river. For the dam part. And we're back into our two-way traffic now, crossing the bridge. Now if you would continue straight here, you would come out at the marina and Highway 52 to Yankton. We're going to take this little right here and go down to where the other campgrounds are. And you see you have the Cottonwood, which is the core, the Pearson Ranch, and the White Crane are both state parks. There's the part of the bike trail. The rail trail for the bikes goes a long way. Through the campgrounds, down through the marina, and just keeps going. So you would have your Cottonwood campground. The Pearson Ranch area is another recreation park with camping. So this is another Corps of Engineer park right here. And this would be the Cottonwood Park. This place, we were here over Memorial Day weekend, or we were across the river, and this place was packed. There was people and campground and kids and campers and tents and pop-ups and trailers. They were just all nestled in here like a colony of ants. And there's the lake. My wife actually went out and kayaked on that lake and had a great time. It's very clear water. And it's not real cold, not real warm, but it's not real cold. And this is some of the Cottonwood Core Park right here on the other side of the river from Nebraska Tailwaters, where we're at. There's a playground back there. Site P10, Site P11. There's a tent. There's Site 12, Site 13, etc. This is also, another core park. So I think I'm going to go out here to the sign, take a right, and run up to Pearson. It's not that far up, and just show you what that one's like. That's a state park. So this is the Pearson Ranch Recreation Area, a South Dakota state park. It's very wooded, lots of grass. The day use area. There's tennis courts here, basketball courts. There's soccer fields, bathhouse. There's Site 3E, campsites 55E through 64, 66, 67. So there's quite a few campsites back in this state park. Electric, once again, no water at the site. It's a nice shaded campground. There's the road, the main dike back there. There's a play area right there. Site 30, 31. There's the lake. There's some cabins for rent. There'll be another playground right there. So this would be the Pearson Recreation Area. It's within a couple of miles of the Nebraska Tailwaters Park. They're all really close, right off the same road. Pearson Ranch Recreation Area. So you have the Cottonwood Campground, the Chief White Crane area, and then the Cottonwood Day Use area. So we've already been through Cottonwood, but I'm going to drive up here, going back toward the dam, show you that one last campground up here. So that was Cottonwood, right there, the entrance to Cottonwood. And that's the steep road that we came down off the dam to come into this area. And right up to where that pickup truck is, we're just going to keep going around the bend. It will be right on the other side of the Missouri River from Nebraska Tailwaters Campground, where we started from. And that's the Chief White Crane Campground. That's also a state park, not a core park. You can hear it rushing out. Downstream. Around that point, that's where the generators are. Quite impressive. So we're headed down toward the other campground. This is all the little lanes you can pull over if you want to go unload your fishing rods and tackles to go down on the shore there and fish off the bank. And we're right across the street, as you can see, from the check-in station for Nebraska Tailwaters, where we're at. That would be our campground over there, the one we're staying at. And straight ahead is the other state park campground. So we're going to follow that fifth wheel. Uh-oh, don't want to go over 25. That's a double ramp on this side of the river. As you can see across the river, it's Nebraska Tailwaters State Park. It's our little motorhome parked up over there. Popular fishing point. Seen a lot of people fishing off that little point right there. There's that fifth wheel we're following. I guess we're on the right road. Picture of the lake on this side. Some cabins. Geese. Quite a few geese. Self-check-in if nobody's there. That's another wooded area. There's that bike route. This goes on and on. 5E. That's 6E. .80. 10. Got a bathhouse over here. Goes on back in there, loops on around. There's the cabins. Site 22 rather. And there's the lake. Campsite's going back there. Waterfront 139F 140. So watch out for the bump. 141 cabin. And there's our geese again. Chief White Crane Recreation Area. There's that bike trail. This goes on and on. We have a playground. We have a swimming beach. Pretty big beach. A bike trail. Here's the lake and the dam. Right over here under these trees, this is the driveway right here. You go down that driveway, circle around. There's a couple of kayak little launching ramps right there's one of them. It's a nice little concrete ramp to go down there to launch your kayak. And there's another one right up here. So if you want to go kayaking or canoeing on the lake, you got a couple of launch points here. And that would bring us back to the main entrance. Well, it's about 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night. Nightfall is rapidly approaching. This is the back side of the dam. That car's headlights coming from Nebraska Tailwaters Campground. On the other side are the other campgrounds. There's the bridge. A great sight here, all lit up at night. We're on a, they call the Bluff Trail. That's a 9/10 of a mile trail in and out behind the dam here by the lake. Let's walk down here and a little nighttime twilight view of the lake. Sunset. Sunset on the Missouri. State line between South Dakota and Nebraska. Well, fellow RVers, we've enjoyed our 10 days here at Nebraska Tailwaters Army Corps of Engineer Park. Today's Sunday, September 8th, and we're moving on to a couple of city parks before we get to our next Corps park. But to wrap this up, Nebraska Tailwaters here is like I showed you, a linear campground. It's limited spaces, but across the river, the Missouri River there, you do have the other 3 campgrounds that I showed you. One of them is a Corps park, the other 2 are state parks. And on Crest Road, the road you turn in off of 52 to get over here, there's the marina, and the marina has a lot of cabins available there. And also on 52, about 2 miles down from the marina, there's Lewis and Clark Campground. And we went through there and there's like 168 campgrounds in there. Now all these campgrounds that we've noticed all have electric, 30-50 amp. There's no water at the sites at any of them, but they do have spigots placed around the park. The 2 here at Nebraska Tailwaters, they're placed like at the back of people's campsites, so that's not really, to me, convenient to get to, but all the dump stations have freshwater fill, so you can go to the dump stations. As far as the Verizon service we had here was excellent. No problems at all with data or getting onto anything that we needed to get onto, as far as our cell phones go, or internet or computer. As far as activities go, there's a lot to do here. You're very close to the big city of Yankton, and there's a Walmart there. It's a big enough city. They got any kind of store that you would need to pick up any type of supply there. We also went to the downtown Yankton Historic Center where the Meridian Bridge is and walked across the Missouri River there. There's also the fish hatchery and aquarium. It's right up the road here from the state park. That's worth a visit. I actually passed a go-kart place. You can ride go-karts if you choose. There's fishing here. There's across the road there. They have a beach. They have disc golf. The Pearson State Park over there actually has basketball courts, tennis courts, soccer field. There's a bike riding, off-road and on-road, which my wife did. There's also hiking. Lots of opportunities to walk your dogs. So there's quite a bit to do here, both at the parks and in town and the surrounding areas. So if you're in the South Dakota, Nebraska state line, which is what this river separates the two, and you're looking for a camping place, there's lots of opportunities here outside of this Nebraska Tailwaters Park where we stayed. And it's well worth the stay. It's a little overcast and rainy looking today, but for the most part we've had good weather. It's a nice area, plenty to do. We would give it a thumbs up. So we're going to wrap this up now and head on down the road. There we are, almost ready to hook up and go. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, hit the bell, keep you posted of our other adventures. We're working our way back to Florida. We're here in Nebraska, so stay tuned. So this is Gary, Ruff Road RV Life. We like looking at freedom. We'll see you on the road, and stay safe.
What you doing, Luna? What you doing, Luna? She loves to rub on this rug. Loves it. Hey, Luna. You got your rug back. Yes, you do. Good girl. On the way to Tahazuka Park. It's a city or county park. I can't remember which one. And we are leaving Nebraska Tailwaters. But we love the hills. This is 81 South. Tara smells cows.